thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, Professor. My name is Chair. First of all, please allow me to express my sincere gratitude to my professor, Udazi, who provided tremendous support during the past 3 years. Also, I'm very thankful to to the Professor Bagada and also Professor Fanier. They provide the insightful comments to this and the suggestions which help to improve the quality of my work. So now let's begin. Today I will present my study for analysis on the micro-influencer cost-saving characteristic in the Chinese market. The reason why I want to study this is because that currently I'm working for the Korean leading cosmetic brand, Amer Pacific, as a team leader of strategy division, focused on the brand marketing campaign spending. However, the influence marketing was going up strongly in past 4 years, as you can see from the graph. That's why I'm wondered how I can better understand how this money is spent efficiently or not. And also did some marketing research here. We can see that 70% post 95 prefer to purchase products online, on social media, and 44 nationwide. And also the research shows that the Chinese CMOs no longer believe in traditional advertisement and the digital advertisement as well. They want to spend more money on digital marketing, which is social media, focus on the influence marketing. And also the very famous Chinese brand, Proya, when we search online, they have the CAGR of 50% GMV growth in past 3 years. And they just require one MCN, which is social media agency in China. So as what I mentioned before, lessons to be learned from the research, the influence marketing is the mandatory battlefield to win in China, no matter for international brand or for domestic brands. And also influence marketing, like, is quite different compared to foreign countries, because in China, the market is quite different. So we may have some like knowledge barriers for the international brands. So that's why I did the author did the literature review. So we found several reasons that's why the influence marketing is so popular in China. First, as you may heard about that, Guanxi in China have a very strong emphasis on interpersonal relationship, and the influencer can be like analysis as being part of this. And also consumers express growing skeptical towards brand direct marketing and less inclined to trust traditional advertisement. And also some studies show that the company like tend to collaborate with influencers to engage with their social media, with their followers on social media to drive their trust through social media. Previous study helped to lay down a few assumptions by micro level view, and micro level view. Notably, at micro level view, the cultural environment in China is good for influence marketing because we have a lot of consumer base, population base. The social media ecosystem is very developed in China and separate from the rest of the world. Like in China, we use Red and Douyin, notably is TikTok in other countries, but why in other countries mainly driven by Instagram and Facebook. The government support to stimulate the economic and also the rising middle class consumption power and larger population size in China create the scale 7. Also, but the larger number of the KOLs and the frequent social media like algorithm changes also means that influencer can be easily lost their edge, and also the post-COVID recovery is not a recovery good as expected. From the micro level view, this is what we mean from the individual campaign level. Studies found that the relationship between the KOL size, KOL niche, and the KOL platform have a very strong impact on the cost of engagement here. A set of influence and marketing characteristics is then used to determine the campaign successful or not, based on the resulting on the CPE, also sometimes based on the campaign CPM, and also the positive, negative comments or publicity generated during this campaign to measure whether this campaign is successful or not. According to the macro view and the micro view literature review, multiple studies have been performed on influence marketing, but there remain gaps in the literature. Notably, recent studies were done in other markets like EU and the US, and studies on the Chinese markets, majority of studies were done before the COVID-19, which like during the COVID-19, consumer behaviors changes a lot. And also different social media platforms were considered, but little emphasis on the local Chinese platform. That's why this thesis is aimed to addressing part of this gap by focusing in the post-COVID Chinese market to analyze the impact of the use of micro-influencer on campaign cost per engagement here. Three research questions were formulated based on the literature review. The question one is what is the effect of influence size on their cost per CPE? Question two, what additional predictor of influencer performance are relevant to understand the cost per engagement? Question three, to which extent may the results of this analysis be relevant to the other industry sectors? Based on the three questions, the mixed method research design conducted, utilizing both quantitative and qualitative approach. This study will be consisted in two phases. The first phase will be the study used a quantitative approach to investigate the relationship between different variables and the cost per engagement. The data analysis part was conducted by the multiple linear regression. The data source was from the company currently the author is working for. The sample size is 2,366 influencer campaign on 4 brands. The collection period was all the campaign between 2020 to 2022. The variables include 14 different variables. The second phase of the study used a quantitative approach, and the research was conducted by using focused interview. The respondents include 14 digital marketing experts. The participants are being selected based on their relevance to the research questions. The industry covered cosmetic, tech, fashion, and the interview duration is about 30 to 1 hour per respondent. Now we move to the quantitative analysis. For the quantitative analysis, as I often mentioned, this quantitative represents the entire population of the influence marketing campaign done at Pacific between 2020 and 2022, include 4 different brands and also 2 different platforms, notably Red and Douyin. And for the data preparation, 3 steps. Step 1 is nominalization. Step 2, standardization. Step 3, remove the outliers. The purpose of this analysis is to identify which variables in this data set are the most strong associated with the cost per CPE with the campaign. Given that the influencer data set contains a large amount of the variables, the aim of this regression come up with the below formula, which could help take more informed decision when it comes to hiring the influencer for the influence marketing in the future. The result for this analysis, the quantitative analysis performed in this thesis present a robust model that has been created to predict the engagement rate of social media influencers. The adjusted R squared here, you can see it's 0.65. That indicate that this model explains 65.5 of the variance in the data, which is good fit for social science model. The p-value, I just like marked here. The p-value of all variables in this model are below 5, indicating a significant relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variables. The p-value, not p-value. Furthermore, the F statistical value has a p-value below 5, indicating that this model is significant overall. So now we move to the result of the quantitative analysis. 6 key points from the data analysis. The first one is relying on the micro-influencer significantly reduce the cost per CPE, and also rely on the top tier influence. You can have more reach, but you can get a high cost per engagement. Those two are quite consistent with the literature review assumptions. Third, using the platform RED increase the cost per engagement as compared to the platform Douyin. This is the new findings, but the potential reason for this one is because of the algorithm. Also, the audience group for this RED and Douyin are quite different. Point 4, the article contents display a lower CPE than video content. This is also a new findings. Notably, probably due to the increased workload for the influencer to produce videos than content. Point 5, rely on lifestyle influencers significantly increase the campaign cost per engagement. This is a new finding. On 6.6, campaign for the brand Swasu lead to a significant high CPE. This is also a new finding. For point 5 and point 3, both of those are new findings, but they have different reasons for this one. So additional research may be needed to on additional data to verify those kind of new findings. Now we move to the qualitative analysis. For this one, the main purpose for this one is the first purpose is try to verify like the result from the quantitative analysis. Second, because previously we have the research question 3. For this one, we also want to understand whether this can be applicable to other industries. For the respondent, we have 14 respondents from 3 different industries: cosmetic, tech, and fashion. The result for this one is like the micro-influencers tend to resonate with audience more effectively and sustain high engagement rate. This one is quite interesting because for lecture industry, they have a different feedback for this. They highly rely on the micro-influencer due to their brand reputation and also the management cost consideration. For the micro-influencers tend to be a cheap alternative, and everything else held consistent. They are instrumental to optimize resource in the Chinese market. They, however, tend to generate high management rate costs. This is quite aligned with the luxury industry expert feedback as well. The respondent also confirmed the additional aspect of the quantitative study, which are quite aligned with the quantitative result. The first one is on the wide Chinese market, RED appears more expensive than Douyin because RED have more content than videos. The video content appears more expensive than article, through more effective to drive sales. So for those results, additional information for this, some respondents emphasize that a high engagement rate doesn't necessarily lead to high sales conversion rates. A few mentioned they would be interested in a deep dive study in this aspect. Conclusion statement. 4 key points from this thesis. Micro-influencers have statistically a lower cost per engagement. RED tend to have a significant high cost per engagement. Those 2 points both verified by quantitative and qualitative analysis, rely on lifestyle influence, significantly increase the campaign cost per engagement. This is the quantitative findings, but no respondent mentioned during the interview. Maybe need additional research additional data to verify these findings. The first point 4, high engagement rate doesn't necessarily lead to high sales. This is a qualitative findings because of the data limitation cannot be verified in this study research. So would be interested in a deep dive study on this aspect in the future. Implication for this one from 2 points. Theoretic implication, the methodology followed in this study may serve a roadmap for the influence marketing in the future. And also the significant understanding of this may have some benefit to the Chinese influence marketing industry in the future. Managerial implication, 3 points. Significant value for the marketers when they allocate their campaign budget, they can consider more aspect in the future. The finding derived from the econometrics model provides valuable insight into the influence selection, impact of the influence size, content type, and also the platform used by influencer. And also the application of this methodology across different companies and industries could contribute to the accumulation of knowledge in the field of influence marketing going forward. This is a one page for the managerial recommendations. Very simple. Before you do the social marketing, influencer marketing, you should assess your brand.
3 minutes more.
What?
You should end in 3 minutes. No more.
Okay. Just 2 more pages. Before you collaborate with the influencer marketing, you should assess your brand image to ensure using the micro-influencer would not be detrimental. Second, use a large mix of micro-influencer to reduce cost per engagement. Third, leverage on Douyin campaign to reduce cost per engagement. First, leverage on article content to reduce cost per engagement. 5, take into consideration additional cost factors besides cost per engagement at the luxury expertise feedback. They will consider management cost and also the reputation of the brand. This will be the last page. This is the further thesis limitation from 2 aspects, quantitative and qualitative. For quantitative, because this study is only limited to one cosmetic company, which have quite limited data for this. Second, the specific product pushed for this company also have some significant roles in the result. Third, the study had a relatively small sample size compared to entire market with a very limited number of variables as well. So improvement recommendation in the future is to align the data structure and consolidate the result with cross multiple companies industry and relaunch a study to verify maybe it can have some other new findings in the future. For the qualitative aspects, interviewees may have their bias because of their knowledge or experience, which could affect the accuracy of their respondent when they answer the questions. Second, the interviewee's vision and understanding of the topic may be different from each other, so the answer may be different as well. The third, the research didn't consider the impact of the regulatory in China on influence marketing. For this one, the improvement recommendation will be increase the number of high-quality interviewees to gather more additional data, and also bring in some sensitivity analysis to understand the potential impacts of regulatory change in the market. That's it. Thank you.